What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LaBeouf.
Jeandra, so much to talk about in so little time. But you're looking fly, you're looking beautiful as ever.
Thank you. So are you. I'm excited. I mean, everything is starting to heat up for the women. When we first started on this journey, people are like, oh, nobody wants to hear about that. Nobody cares. I beg to differ. Look where we are now, a year later.
Right. Remember, you said 5 years later, it's going to take over. So we're now down to 4 years. But yes. I completely agree with you. Let's start off the night. Saturday night, we had the reigning champion defending her titles, the IBF and WBO strawweight titles, Yokasta versus Annabelle Ortiz. As always, we're always texting back and forth. And this was an interesting fight. It was in Costa Rica in Yoka's backyard. All you hear was Yoka's fans. But they put on a great fight. Annabelle Ortiz is a former long reigning strawweight champion. It was a fun fight. And these are the kind of fights that we want to see and men love to watch. Your thoughts on that fight?
I too enjoyed it. Well, from everything, from the atmosphere, from the walking in, I like it. Step up the pageantry and the majesty of these women who are champions. From the ring walks were exciting to kind of incorporate their culture into it. The crowd was yo God. I loved how hyped they were for her. I know she's a big star there, but until you get to really kind of see it, it's really, really amazing.
So I get it. You want the homecoming, you want the pageantry, like you said, because when you do that, you get to see their culture. And it was really a beautiful ring walk. I mean, imagine if it was in Mexico City where Annabelle's from, you would have the mariachi bands, like you would have the whole everything. But it was a fun fight. We had thoughts. Yokasta she was basically fighting Annabelle's fight. Annabelle did not win. Annabelle was throwing a lot of punches. She pressured Yoka, and Yoka was getting into that fight, into that brawl, when we know Yoka fights better with the jab, fights better on the outside, using her 1-2. And we both talked about it. She's not don't take this, this is just what we thought, or I thought. She doesn't fight well on the inside, but she had so much success, like, oh, shoot, I have a jab, use it. And Annabelle was like, wait a minute, come back in here. But it was good. What did you see about Yoka?
I thought the same thing. You know, a lot of times when fighters fight at home, there's some nerves and things. The longer this fight went on, the better she fought. And she did those things, like you mentioned. She went back to the fundamentals, working her jab, fighting from the outside. Firefights do not suit her. And so once that kind of clicked in and what they were telling her in her corner, then she fought a better fight. I'm just not a fan of her inside game as well. I think that could be very harmful when she goes up against more skilled, more youthful fighters in the division. But she fought well. Maybe it was a little bit nerves in the beginning, but once she got really into her game plan, she looked really, really good out there. So it was a really good win for her.
I mean, Annabelle gave her that nice little shiner under her eye is because she was fighting on the inside. Yoka was clinching a lot, is because, she didn't want to get hit. But luckily she pulled off the win, and kudos to her. And of course, who does she call out? Who has she been calling out is the undefeated champ, Seniesa Estrada. I personally don't think we're going to get that fight anytime soon.
I don't think so either. Seniesa had her injury. She had surgery.
Yeah, she just had surgery.
She had surgery, so she's still recovering for that. But even in that matchup I just don't think that matchup suits her, for just that very reason that you said, fighting on the inside and not fighting well. After watching Seniesa's evolution as a fighter and the style that she fights now, I think Yoka is one body shot or one uppercut away from a knockout in that fight. If they meet and they get together, it's going to be one of those two shots that's going to be the kill shot.
It's funny because I was looking to see, hey, I wonder if Seniesa is watching, but she was working the top ranked card, which we're going to talk about later. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Sadly, she's no longer with Golden Boy, but she's now with Top Rank. So that could have been such an easy fight to make, because now Yokasta is with Golden Boy. So luckily, what's great about Yokasta, when I looked at it, this is her third fight in a year.
Yes, she is super
Wow.
active. I felt
She's
like
busy.
then we just saw her. Like she just fought in Commerce. She fought
Yeah.
here in Commerce,
Yeah.
and
And
she
no,
is getting to it.
she fought on the Regis card. On the
Mm,
Regis Pro Grade card. Remember that one when it was
yeah.
so cold and we met her? We're like, you got a nice booty in your bikini. Like,
Yep.
I mean, the girl, they are stepping it up. Did you see her weigh-in outfit this time? Ooh, sexy. It was beautiful. It was, you know me, I love sparkles and glitters, but it was gorgeous. Girl, if I had those rocking bodies, I'd just wear pasties.
Ah! Okay, then since we're gonna go down this lane, if you could get your ring outfit together, what do you think your ring walk? What would your weigh-in outfit look like?
Oh,
Like, what would you want it to
you
have?
really want to know if my
I
body
sure do.
looked banging? I'd be straight up. You know what, girls? If you're gonna steal my idea, I expect a cut or
That
say
part.
idea from Cynthia. I'd wear straight up black tape, that black tape bathing suit.
Oh,
Attention, Ebony Bridges. I'm going to send you that idea because she'll be fighting very soon in December. That's a whole other topic we're going to get to talk about because just the weigh-in outfits is a whole show. But yeah, I would do a black with black glitter or black rhinestones all around. Or yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like I would go straight, like straight to the motherland. Like if I was doing like a weigh-in outfit, like it'd have to be like some zebra print or some cheetah print, like extra protection in the boob area. But I would do like maybe like who wears that kind of thing? I like how Maricela Cornejo wears the bathing suit with the very high kind of high cut like that. I feel like I would do that kind of a vibe with the this is a grown-up show with titties and the V kind of action for the hips and stuff. Like, our audience is 90% male. You loving this conversation.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh yes, I'm gonna put it in the suggestion box.
If you out there are an Adobe Photoshop expert, like hook our outfits up for us and make us like a little thing on like Photoshop of our inspiration.
Oh my God, yeah, send it to us. I would love to see it. And whoever, Jeandra and I will pick the winners and we'll totally post it on all our socials and do a whole show.
And we could send them something. We have like Canelo swag. We could send somebody.
We do.
If you make it for us, we're going to send you some Canelo swag.
So we have what are these called again? There's a word for it.
Beer koozie.
Koozies, yeah, beer koozie. We have the VMC hat. I have two of them, and I have a shirt. I have two shirts. The VMC. I haven't opened it, so And as if you guys don't know, we went viral with Canelo. So why we have so much Canelo stuff? Because A, he loves us, and B, we want to share it with you guys. Too. We have a Canelo bag from his last fight. Who did he fight? Was it Gennady?
I think it was the Bivol fight.
The Bivol fight, and those are nice bags.
Yes, they are. Yeah. I have them downstairs. We've got stuff.
We got stuff. You guys just have to tweet at us and pay attention to the show because whoever does it, we're always on socials and we listen to you guys. We love to give stuff out, but you have to talk to us. We talk to each other all the time.
If you made it to this part in the show, then you've seen this segment. So if you hook it up, we will send you some Canelo swag to the one we like best, and we will post it on our socials. So
no stick figures. Okay.
No, don't just take like a damn like picture and just
do AI
and put it on us like that. Like hook it up.
Yeah. Google AI and use some chat GPT and all that stuff. Okay, well that was I love how our little tangent. That's fun. So that is going to be hopefully the next fight sometime probably this year, probably probably sometime next year. Julissa Guzman versus Ramla Ali was the first fight since it was in the UK, and that was in the beautiful Monaco at Casino Monte Carlo. I mean, James Bond. Everyone was wearing tuxedos. Elegant. Girl, I'd be dripping in diamonds like Marilyn Monroe style.
That would be so hot. Yeah, let us go to the fight in Monte Carlo. Yeah. Baby, I would have on some feathers and sequins and the whole nine.
Right? I don't care. It was such a beautiful background, but we're really interested in the rematch against Julissa Guzman versus Ramla Ali. In the last fight, Ramla Ali got knocked out. She was knocked down and knocked out, and she took the WBA International Super Bantamweight title. She claimed it was a vacant title. So now Ramla had to come back and prove what exactly happened, and she said it in her post fight interview, which I'll get to, but she looked amazing. Ramla Ali boxed. She counterpunched. She looked the opposite from what she looked like in her first fight. Julissa was a very good, aggressive Mexican warrior. So when you fight a Mexican, they're coming and to just brawl and just throw punches from all angles so you do not breathe. And this time she was able to keep her distance, fight her own fight, and Julissa was like, wait a minute, this is not the same fighter.
I'm very happy for her that she got that redemption. I wonder what the biggest difference was. You know, I'd be very interested in speaking with her and asking her what she thought was the biggest difference between the previous fight and this fight, because it sounds like she was a totally different fighter in the ring.
So what she said, I don't know if you caught it in her post interview, she said, because I'm sorry, you guys, thank you. You know, this was a great fight, but I started my period and I'm exhausted. And remember, Alicia Baumgardner said that when she won her Undisputed. You guys, it happens. Women have periods. It happens. It's real. We do have it. And so she was exhausted this fight, but she really pushed through. And what she said in her last fight, her performance, something happened where from the very first round, her legs were jelly. And even Manny noticed it, and she couldn't shake it out. And she goes, that's why I was clenching so much. She's like, I couldn't move. I was frozen. I just didn't know what to do. And I don't know what that was, if she got punched a certain way, or I'm not sure. She doesn't know, but she was like, you know, that's my excuse. But she was able to redeem herself with a victorious win, a unanimous decision. A lot of people said it was a very close fight. I thought it was. A lot of people thought Julissa won. Some people were like, no, I don't think that, you know, Ramla won. But I personally thought she edged it out by boxing. It was a clear victory by seeing, you know, she was able to miss the punches, make Julissa miss and pay. And that was the deciding factor for me. But I love Ramla. You know, eventually we'll get her on the show.
We will get her. We are working hard. And now as a matchroom fighter, it is, what are the next steps going to be for her, and where can she go? As some of you may know, Cynthia and I are on the committee for the women's rankings for Ring Magazine. And so we have these extensive conversations. I know there's probably a hot one in our email right now. Where does Ramla go after this? Julissa Guzman was ranked number 4 by Ring. She has now lost to Ramla Ali. So what does that do for Ramla's ranking? Well, at least within the Ring rankings, we can't speak to the other sanctioning bodies. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. But we're having our discussion, and, you know, next fight step. She's over at Matchroom. She's only one weight class up. Maybe a Ebony Bridges fight in the future. Who's at Bantam? She's at Super. Ebony, I don't think she's going up in weight. She's so petite. I doubt she's going up to a higher weight class, but she probably could go down.
You know what's so weird? Ramla is 5'7". Like,
really?
And Ebony is 5'2" or 5'1", but
Ebony is a teeny.
You know, she's just voluptuous and just more muscular. So I had to look at her height because she is a model, as everyone knows. She's done campaigns for Dior and you know, many high-end campaigns. But she's strong. So it's interesting that she's 122, but she's 34 years old. So she's not getting any younger. I'm curious to see what her path is, because I don't know if Ebony and her would ever fight, because of the thought Ebony is a title holder. She's fighting Avril Matthew in December. And she's even talked about, I saw an interview, she wants to do the Shannon Courtney rematch. Yeah, because that was, she did lose to her. And that's when she had that big bulging eyeball. That's when, you know, girls can punch.
Man, those smaller weight classes are, for the women, they are rumbling. They are rumbling. Just smaller weight classes in general. You know, I've so much smaller weight classes get overlooked just because of the sizes. Everyone loves heavyweights and welters and supers and all of those things, but it's those smaller weight class that are throwing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of punches and are rumbling throughout the match.
Yeah. And I mean, it goes to when we talked about Amanda Serrano and when she did the 12 rounds, 3 minutes, how many punches they threw. Like I said, when we talk about it, it's still a hot topic. It will always be a hot topic. Will they have a better knockout ratio if the rounds are longer and if there are more rounds? I don't know, but for sure we saw Amanda throwing that her and her opponent threw well over 2,400 punches, which is unheard of.
If we go to this whole if all of the women start to lean into the 3-minute rounds, if you had to make a prediction, who do you think among all the women, no matter which weight class, who do you think would score a knockout win first? What, from the highest, Shadeja Green at 168 in the 168 division where Franchon lives, to minimum weight where Sinisa and Marlene and all of the smaller women are? Who do you think has the potential to get the KO first, like a kill shot?
I saw Jelena. She's part of Tyson Fury's team, and it was really interesting because Supreme Boxing, shout out to Nancy Rodriguez,
Yay, Nancy.
She posted a thing that said women don't need 3 minutes, 12 rounds to score a knockout. And Jelena, she was a former world champion, one of the longest reigning champions. I can't remember what division, but she knocked the girl out cold. So I think for women, it's to each their own. I just don't know the way that they train. Will they be able to keep the pace? It's very different. Like you said, like we said, Amanda said her toenails were falling off. She was running a lot. She had a love-hate relationship with the track. And so, you know, for women to keep up that pace, it's very different. But hey, if the women are on board and the sanctioning bodies are on board, hopefully WBC maybe gets on board, then we'll see. But as of right now, we shall see. We shall see.
For sure.
And then the last fight of the night, Top Rank, they fought in Lake Tahoe in a new arena. And the headliner was Efe Ajagba. He fought Goodall. I don't remember his first name, but I even text you. I go, this is going to be a really nasty knockout like these two. But it just fell flat. Goodall just had no feet. Like you said, he had no head movement. It was lackluster, but hey, he went in there and Efe did his job. What did you think of his performance?
Well, for one, we're glad that we actually got a fight and dude didn't run as soon as the ring was. That, you know, that's always a fear when Efe Ajagba
or get hit in the balls.
Or getting hit in the balls. Like, come on, let the man have like a regular fight and just whip ass the old fashioned way. But again, another great ring walk. He had like looked like an Afro beats artist with him that walked him to the ring. Love that. Nigeria stand up. 23andMe said I'm 18% Nigeria. Okay, Niger Nation, let's stand up. But other than that, I did like his performance. This is probably like technically the most sound, but this is the most we've ever got a chance to see him go over the course of rounds. He looked really good, really sharp, really precise. And I liked his performance out there. Goodall was the perfect stylistically for him because he just had his head on the line. All I saw was forward and back. No this, no that. I said he's just setting. He want to get knocked out clearly.
Yeah, it was. I was a little worried he was going to get knocked out, but luckily the ref stopped it, Tony Weeks, and people were like, why would Tony Weeks stop it when he didn't stop that one fight with Badu when it was all bloody, when he had a big old cut. But some people thought it was a premature stoppage, but what Goodall wasn't doing anything, and it was better. Save him for another fight.
Not at all for Goodall.
No, I like that. Good tagline. Sorry, guys.
But I'm here all week.
You know what was my favorite? My favorite part in the post interview, you know, Mark Kriegel is obviously trying to get who are you going to fight, because Big Bang Jang was in the audience, and Big Bang Jang actually predicted 4th round knockout. 4th round. Oh, TKO. Okay. Yeah, he said it. That would be a good fight. I would like to see it. And when Mark said who's next, and he's like, I don't understand, and he tells his coach. What did he say? He said, who do you want next? It was from English to English.
That was so funny. Thank you for saying that. I don't understand. What did he say? He said, who you want? You said earlier that you want to fight that. I'm like, are we translating English to English now? What's going on with Mark tonight?
So funny. I was like, oh, I'm like, oh wait, Kate Croman knows like Nigerian, whatever that language, and then he said, who you want to fight? I'm like, hey. That's funny. That was
Clearly,
fun.
they were having them a good time in Lake Tahoe. Mark Kriegel was all over the place. Shout out to Mark. Sorry, Mark. No disrespect, but he was kind of all over the place on the broadcast. I don't presume to be able to do it better than you, but she was all kind of all over the place.
Tim Bradley was on one.
Wow, Tim was. Oh, what was the kid's name? Who was that Tim kept saying was going to beat Keyshawn's ass?
Murataya.
Murataya. So the guys were having them a good time in Lake Tahoe. They were all over the place. Mark Kriegel, he was having you a good time in Lake Tahoe, apparently. And Tim Bradley, wow, damn the company man thing. He said that Keyshawn, who is a staple of theirs, is going to get beat by a young man who fought on. Wow, he was just she kept saying it over and over and over, and he knew it was crazy because he's like, I know I'm gonna piss a lot of people off with this, and it was so startling the way he said it that Bernardo was like, you could hear Bernardo kind of low key gasp, like, "Ooh, Keyshawn's suspended right now," and he just kept on with I'm telling you, that's the man that's gonna beat Keyshawn. That's the man that's gonna beat Keyshawn. Keyshawn, did you piss Tim Bradley off? Good Lord.
Did you see? So I watched the State of Boxing after, and I tweeted it out that even Tim Bradley, when they're talking about Raymond Murataya, he is the next force to be reckoned with in the 135-pound division. When he asked, who do you want next? He's like, I want Devin Haney. Well, Devin Haney is, moving on up. But what Tim Bradley said, he goes, if Murataya fought Devin Haney, I put my money on Raymond Murataya to beat Devin Haney. I was like, damn. And so when someone said, no, I think he said Keyshawn Davis, I said, no, he said this on State of Boxing after the show. So Tim Bradley was just having a good one. And you know what? He's had some very good predictions. He knows boxing, whether I'm right or wrong, but Murataya he just was a complete fighter. I can't wait to see who he fights next. And he's part of the Garcia boxing stable.
Shout out to Robert Garcia. It's good to hear his name in the mix. I've always liked Robert Garcia a lot. He's a cool guy. We got to definitely get him on the show. So if you're watching, tag him and tell him we want him to come on the show.
Our next guest that we're going to be bringing on is CALLUM WALSH, a knockout artist, and he's going to be fighting in the Mecca of Boxing for Tom Loeffler's 360 promotion. This is huge. Tom Loeffler, Hollywood Fight Nights. I opened that show when it was at the club in Hollywood, and then COVID happened, and then I had no job left. But I'm so happy to see that he is backed by not the one and only Dana White, and he's on UFC Fight Pass for this show to be on this platform. I think it's great. You get the celebrities, you get everything, and CALLUM WALSH is fun. He's a fun guy to talk to, and he has Freddie Roach in his corner, so he's got what would you call not threesome but trifecta? So it's the perfect recipe. So we're going to be talking to him. Stay tuned. All right, Jeandra. Well, we've had him before when he was making, I think, his 7th fight. I don't remember, but now we got CALLUM WALSH. We've mentioned this before. You're under Tom Loeffler, and whenever Tom Loeffler really nurtures a fighter, you've seen big things. You've seen Klitschko brothers, you've seen Gennady, and now he has you. CALLUM WALSH, how excited are you? You are headlining the theater at MSG in New York City.
I'm very excited. I'm very grateful to be able to do this so early in my career. I'm only 22 years old, and I'm already headlining the theater at Madison Square Garden. So I can only imagine, like you said, what plans Tom Loeffler has for me in the future. He's done great things, so I can only imagine what he's going to do with some young Irish fighter like me.
One of the more exciting elements of it, too, is there's a huge Irish population in New York. They super represent. I've come out for the Irish parade, and it's a really, really big deal, like a little second homecoming. Is New York like the second home of Irish people? Are the most Irish people there out in the United States? Do you know?
Yeah, definitely. There is a big Irish population out in New York. I was out there a couple of weeks ago, and on nearly every single street there was an Irish bar. So I'm looking forward to a big Irish crowd. showing up, and I'm looking forward to putting on a big show out there for them.
This is your 9th professional bout, and you're going in, like you said, as a headliner. It's dreams are for a fighter would always want to be the headliner of MSG, and you get to do it. This is your second defense for your WBC US silver title. The man that wants to take it from you, you're going into his backyard, Ismael Villarreal. He's 13-1 with 9 knockouts. But you're 8-0 with 7 knockouts. So all of your wins have come way of knockout. I know early on in your career, we always say, are you going to go for the knockout? But are you ready to go all 10 rounds?
Yeah, I'm always trying to get the knockout. I'm always trying to finish the fights. But if I have to go 10 rounds, I can go 10 rounds. I'm here sparring at the wildcard. I spar 10 rounds all the time with top level fighters. So I know if it comes down to it, I can do it. But I will be going in there, like you said, to his backyard, and I'm going to be going in there and try to make a big statement and try to prove a point that I'm coming in there and I'm there to stay.
By being a permanent fixture at the wild card, what do you think is the biggest difference now from going in there now and now entering your 9th fight, and just kind of like the energy around you in the gym? What is it like when you're amongst your peers there at the wild card?
Yeah, it's a big confidence booster. Training at the wild card, you could train with absolutely anybody. There's a lot of world champions come through there all the time. Anybody could show up there for training, and just to be learning from someone like Freddie Roach, a man that has had 40-something world champions and has so much knowledge in the pro game. And like, I've come from a big amateur background, so being able to mix my amateur style with Freddie's pro style, I think is the perfect mixture.
You're there with Freddie. Is there anybody who's come through the wild card? Does he ever say, you remind me of so-and-so when he was your age? Does he liken you to anybody in terms, not necessarily just style, but personality, work ethic? Does he say, you remind me of so-and-so?
I'm not sure. I can't really remember, but I just know every day I go in there, I try to work as hard as I can, and I just try to be me. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm just trying to be the best version of myself.
I know that when you first came from Ireland, it was during COVID, and you just said you needed a change and you came over to Wildcard. Why did you specifically choose Wildcard to go show off your skills, and hopefully Freddie Roach would notice you?
Yeah, when I was about 15, I came to LA, and I actually went to the Wildcard, and I bought a t-shirt from there, and I met with Freddie. And I always knew if I was going to come back and train, I would go and try to get Freddie to train me. And yeah, I came back when I was 20 years old, and now I'm 22 and I'm 8-0 with Freddie, so it's good.
What was the first thing Freddie saw or said to you when you were hitting the bag, or when you had to spar the day that you were trying to get him to really notice you?
Yeah, so the first day I showed up, I wanted to just train, but Freddie told me I had to spar my first day. So I sparred, and he just told me I could come back the next day. And that's what I've been doing ever since, just kept coming back.
From the first time we've met you, your life is changing rapidly. Still the same hardworking guy, but now you've got Dana White in the mix, and he's coming to the fights. We're going to the Garden. What do you reflect on in your quiet moments, how the journey is in for you thus far? Or do you take the time to even think about the road so far?
Yeah, I'm enjoying every minute of it, but I feel like, it just feels like a dream. Everything happens so fast, and everything, the amount of stuff that is happening, it just, at times it doesn't feel real when I sit back and think about it. But yeah, I'm just trying to just enjoy every moment, and that's one thing I want to take from my career, is just enjoy it. And like, a lot of things, like you said, are changing in my life, but I don't want myself to change. I always want to be me and just enjoy it. And when I look back on it and think, it was a crazy career, and it was fun, but at least I enjoyed it. No matter what happens, I just want to, while I'm so young, I want to take this time to just enjoy what's happening.
We've interviewed many fighters, and I've interviewed Freddie. I think it was during the Spence Crawford fight. I go, where would Errol Spence go from here if he lost? He goes, I know a kid who he can fight. He's a tough Irish kid, and he's talking about you. Has that ever crossed your mind? Because they are moving up to 154 in your division. Is he one of the names on your hit list?
To be honest, like, I don't have a hit list. I'm just taking it one fight by a time. I know Tom, and like, I don't ask who my opponents are. They don't tell me. I just show up and fight. So if they told me I was going to fight him, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to show up and fight. So it doesn't matter to me really who I fight, anybody. And they know the level I'm at. They know I'm ready for anything. So whoever they put in front of me, I'll show up and fight.
Jeandra, he's the real fighting man right there.
A fighting man. I like when Tyson Fury's dad says that. I'm fighting man, real fighting man. It cracks me up. Now, you know, as you continue to your focus, you're young, you're walking the path, but as the star rises, more things come into factor, things you have to think about, your future, your pacing, your body, all those kinds of things. Have you reached a point now where it's starting to turn into more about business than the fun, even though you are enjoying the experience?
No, not yet. I think I'm still enjoying it. You know, I'm still taking it fight by fight and seeing what happens. Listen, this I don't think it's ever going to be about business to me. You know, like I know there's people that will handle the business for me, and obviously once I get a bit older and start making more money, then I can make some business moves. But for right now, I'm just fighting and enjoying it while I'm young. I'll just keep enjoying it.
What kind of business moves do you want to make? Like, are you what do you like? Are you a jewelry guy? You like nice clothes, nice cars? Like, you know, we like to manifest here. So, you know, what kind of money are you trying to touch outside of boxing? Cars, jewelry, like what kind of sponsor personally like?
Yeah, no, I'd like to just have simple things. You know, I'd like to just have a nice house, nice car, and money in my pocket, and not have to worry about anything. You know, just be able to just do whatever I want, whenever I want.
People may or may not know, but Dana White has taken a huge liking to you. He's one of the partners. That's why your fight is on UFC Fight Pass. Congratulations. And I see Howler Head behind you. And, you know, these are powerhouse people behind you. They're not just up and coming promoters. You have Dana White of UFC. You have Tom Loeffler. You have Freddie Roach. So many fighters are in awe, and they're very jealous of you because you just came out of kind of nowhere and you're being groomed very, very well, but at a very quick pace, where even Dana White says, I love how Tom Loeffler does his club fights and how he moves his fighters. And I love Callum. He's the real deal. Like, he knocks people out. You're here at the UFC. You're going to Power Slap. You got to meet Conor McGregor, who even knew who you were. What was the advice, or what did he tell you when you first met him?
When I first met Dana, I couldn't believe it. Like, I met Dana on my 21st birthday. My 21st birthday, I went down to Vegas to meet with Dana. And we talked, and we've just been friends ever since. And now he's involved in my career, and he's given me a lot of good advice. And having like somebody like Dana White that doesn't get involved with boxing, like for him to come in and help promote my career, it's massive. You know, it's never been done before. And obviously I'm very appreciative of Dana for everything that he's doing for me. And obviously the Howler Head sponsor is a nice touch too, you know, to get paid for that as well is nice. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I'm a massive UFC fan, so I love going to the UFC events, the Power Slap. I like going to it all. So yeah, having Dana White is very good.
Do you think you'd ever ask Conor McGregor to walk out? He walked out Michael Conlon.
Yeah, I know. I just got a sponsorship from actually McGregor's beer as well, the Forge Irish Stout. So that's a sponsor I have now too. So maybe we could do something with McGregor in the future.
What's his beer called?
Forge Stout. Conor McGregor. You know, you have Emily Bridges. You have Callum Walsh. You could have the best women's boxing show period as a sponsor. I know, you can sponsor us.
Lots of wonderfully talented people have come from Ireland, but just like now, it seems like in the last 10 years, it's reaching like another level. You've got Conor, you got yourself, you've got Becky Lynch and Finn Balor and WWE. You've got all these, Katie Taylor, all these magnificent people that are coming to Ireland. What's something about the Irish people that we non-Irish people should know that really in the heart and what makes Irish people who they are?
Yeah, no, everybody knows that Irish people are known for fighting. Like, the fighting Irish is a massive thing, and we do genuinely love it. You know, that's the thing about like McGregor and Katie Taylor. They all got the massive support from the Irish because we always support our own. You know, anytime there's a big fighter coming up, the Irish show up every time, and we support our own, and we want to see each other do well. And like, Irish are known for being tough and being good fighters, and that's what I'm trying to prove. You know, that we are some of the best fighters in the world. And I want to take it to that level, the same as McGregor and Katie Taylor and the rest of them. I want to be one of those household names back home.
You just mentioned Katie Taylor. She's going to be fighting Chantel Cameron. Katie Taylor, she suffered her first loss against Chantel Cameron, but she went up in weight. What do you see? How do you see that fight playing out? Do you give Katie Taylor a chance? Because it's a puncher's chance. How do you see that fight playing out?
I know every fight there's always a chance. You know, like you could be beaten. Like even for my fights, when I go in, I always know that there's a chance. Like I could lose. You know, or there's a chance you could get caught with a punch and get knocked out. But I know Katie Taylor. You know, she's been around a long time. She's had a lot of fights. And I know that she's obviously learned a lot from that fight, and the second fight will be a lot different. You know, I feel like she's a very hard working person, so I presume she's gonna go and work hard and come back and try to get that back.
Are you a connoisseur of like vintage fights? Do you ever watch any older matchups, old fights right now that inspire you or give you just motivation? Are there any old fights that you like more than like old matchups from any era that you like to watch kind of regularly?
Not really, no. I don't really watch fights, to be honest. I watch a lot of UFC fights, but boxing, I never really watched a lot of boxing. I just been boxing since I was 6 years old. It's all I knew to do. You know, I just go to the gym and train and fight my whole life. So I've never really watched anybody and tried to be like anyone. I always just done my own thing and just made my own style, really.
What does watching UFC fights do for you as a fighter? Are there things that you see in those type of matchups that you think, oh, you know, with a little fine tune, that could be a little slick, or that could be a little, you know, like a nice little cute move that I can throw into my repertoire that's still within the boxing rules?
Yeah, definitely. No, I like to watch the UFC because there's always good fights. You know, the best fight the best, and they don't care whether they win or lose. It's just they're always putting on good fights, and I like to learn new things too. You know, I've been boxing since I was 6, and once you do the same thing your whole life, it starts to get a bit boring. So I like to mix in some MMA training with the stuff that I do. Just keep it exciting. You know, keep training fun and I'm always learning new things, and that's why I like it so much.
Do you think you'd ever go fight in the octagon one day, since you do love MMA and you train it? Do you think you'd ever want to do a crossover fight like a lot of these other fighters have been doing?
Yeah, I could see myself definitely getting into the UFC, 100%, especially with the relationship I have with Dana. I'm only 22 years old too. You know, I still have a long time to learn and train more. But I definitely, right now, boxing is my main priority. I want to win as much as I can in boxing and make my money, and then see what happens after that.
What's been the best UFC fight this year that you either went to or that you watched on TV, like just match up with, because there's been some good ones.
Yeah, I was at I've been to a lot of them this year. I've probably been to every UFC event nearly this year, but I was at one in Boston, the Sean O'Malley fight, and that was probably the best atmosphere I've seen. When Sean O'Malley knocked out Aljo, that was like the crowd was going crazy out in Boston. That was probably the best atmosphere that I felt at a fight this year.
Sean O'Malley is calling out Tank Davis. If that fight ever happened, hypothetically, how would that fight end?
You know, the thing is, you just don't know, because you just seen Francis Ngannou just fought Tyson Fury, and it was a lot different to what people thought. You know, nobody gave the MMA fighter a chance, and it was a close enough fight. So these things you just don't know. Like, the MMA fighters can be very awkward. You know, it's a very different style to what boxers are used to training for. But I would probably say Gervonta Davis. Like, if it was, I would pick Gervonta Davis. Yeah.
They're going to revoke your Irish card. They're going to take your Irish card back for saying that.
You think eventually, since Boston is probably one of the largest populations of Irish people, you think you'd ever want to have a big fight in Ireland?
Yeah, definitely. I want to go home and I want to put on a big show out there for my own people. You know, I want to get back there and do something big. I know. See, the thing about Tom and Dana is they're not going to do anything small. You know, it's not going to be. They're not going to go back there just for the sake of going back there. It's going to be, when I go back there, it'll be either a title fight or it'll be something big, and we'll put on a big show out there.
You know, as you know, we are closing here in the United States into the holiday season. It's almost time for Thanksgiving, a very American holiday. But you are here and you bring your Irish traditions with you. So I want to know, if we're going to make the shepherd's pie this year for Thanksgiving instead of regular mashed potatoes, how do we get the mashed potatoes to stay nice and light, to stay on top of the meaty part of the shepherd's pie? Like, what's the key to making the Irish food correctly? Because I like to cook and you get to eat because your fight's going to be soon.
Yeah, usually I just cook like the meat and stuff and put it all in the pot, and then just mash the potatoes. Cook the potatoes, obviously steam them, mash them up, just layer them on top and put it in the oven. Normally it just stays on fine. Put a bit of cheese.
What else you know how to cook? Because we coming over for dinner.
I can cook a lot of stuff. I'm actually good enough at cooking, to be fair. Just just a couple of weeks ago, though, I was in the kitchen and I was cutting the potatoes, actually making shepherd's pie, and I cut my finger and I had to get 4 stitches right here across my finger, and I haven't been allowed to cook for the rest of the camp. So after the fight, I'll be allowed to cook again.
Oh my God.
Okay, I don't know. We might have to edit that. Tom might kill us.
Like, that's insurance policy. Well, we can't wait to see you. I mean, that would be, honestly, you need to hit up Conor McGregor, say, come walk me out one day. I saw the reception that you had in Boston on your social media. They had that punching machine. You hit really hard, and the people that were trying to win money and the crowd that came out for you, it is like they came out in droves, and that was just in the gym. So you are making some noise, huge noise, and people they're watching you. And especially they want to fight you because they want to be able to knock you out. They want to be able to give you your first, but you got to get through Ismael Villarreal, and we can't wait. So best of luck to you.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
And keep us in mind, for the victory parade, I will bring the Guinness and you make the
no,
pie,
you can't bring no Guinness, the fortune.
Oh, my bad. We're just kidding. Just kidding. You bring the, what's it called again? What kind of stout?
Forged stout.
Okay, you bring the forged stout. I'm gonna make the shepherd's pie, and Cynthia gonna bring something. What you gonna bring?
I'll bring fish and chips. I don't know. There's a really good Irish bar, right? Like there's a lot of them by MSG, but there's one like directly across my old stomping ground, and the food and everything is amazing. So you go enjoy. You guys tune in to UFC Fight Pass November 9th. You see King Callum Walsh. He's taking on Ismael Villarreal, promoted by Tom Loeffler's 360 Promotions. You guys tune in because he loves to do knockouts, and you do big things. Quick question: who are the big celebrities that are coming out? Because you bring out like Halle Berry, you bring out some stars. You really do. Do you know anyone that's coming out, especially in New York City?
I know Dana's going to be there, and to be honest, the thing is with these shows, anybody could show up. I have no idea, but I know it's going to be a packed house and probably a lot of celebrities there to see the fight. But I haven't heard it yet.
Do you ever, sometimes when you're in the ring, you're like, oh my God, Halle Berry's here to watch me, or do you kind of get nervous or in awe, or even after the fight?
Yeah, after the fight, but when I'm in the ring, I know I have one job to do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's there. I don't think about it. I just know I have one job to do, and that's win the fight. And after, I'll enjoy it, and I'll think about it after,
I know your friends are loving this chapter of your career, boy. No new friends. Only the old friends can come.
Well, make sure you guys tune into Callum Walsh. He's going to be fighting in the Mecca of Boxing in New York City. 360 Promotions, promoted by Tom Loeffler, and also on UFC Fight Pass. Best of luck to you, Callum. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations to Tom on his next wonderkind. I'm sure he will have a great performance at Madison Square Garden. But Tom is a great testament to, you don't need a gajillion fighters. You just have to have those ones that eye for it and move your fighter along, and you can give them that individualized attention, and you can build them and take a risk. I feel like there's not enough risk taking on these young fighters, and they just kind of throw them in however, but don't cultivate the other things.
They want money.
Tom is good at that. They want payday. They want payday.
They want money. And you look at what he did with Gennady's career. Gennady took less money to fight fights, and he fought most of his fights outside of California or outside of the States to build his name. Then he comes in and he gets the biggest fights, and he proved himself that he was the man at the time. So I cannot wait to see what he has with Callum Walsh. So I completely agree with you. These fighters, if you have the right promoter, they move you the right way, and they just don't rush you into fights. And you fighters, you have to understand, you are not worth $1 million if you don't have that many fights. Stop it. Fight for legacy. Stop fighting for paychecks. Money will come. Just like Oscar De La Hoya tweeted, the money will come. So take it from the legends themselves. The money will always come. But Jeandra, another good show. We cannot wait to see Callum Walsh in the ring. I predict a knockout. I don't like to predict I do predict knockout.
I do too.
I do too. And I think
Callum's about to put it on for the Garden.
Heck yeah.
All those Irish people are going to turn out. They're going to put it on. They're going to put it on for Ireland.
They are going to be drunk off Forged Stout. Shout out to Conor McGregor's beer, and some Howler
Send us
Head.
some beer.
Shout out to Dana White's Howler Head. Yeah, you can send us some.
Send us.
To be headlining at this age, at this stage of his career is huge. Make sure you guys tune in November 9th, this Thursday, UFC Fight Pass, where Callum Walsh takes on Ismael Villarreal in his own backyard. So we can't wait. Knockouts. We love knockouts, especially at the Garden. All right, Jeandra, another one in the can for us. I can't wait to see who wins, and I'll see you at the next well, we'll see you. I'll see you, even and Boo Boos.
Yeah, we're going to be together, reunited, and it feels so good.
Good. We don't know if we're going to do a live stream, but if we do, make sure you tune in because we're always a good time. Don't forget your chalice.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget to send us our Photoshop pictures of us in our ring walk gear because you might win some Canelo swag.
Yeah, you never know. You will get some stuff. All right, Jeandra, another one in the can. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LaBeouf.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.